A very good afternoon to you all. Today is the very last day of trading for the week. We are in the second half of the year already and a lot is going on. How is your portfolio doing? I hope you are doing your rebalancing very well, and of course, things are looking up for you, and of course, you are making progress. That's what we're here about, and that's what we will ensure that happens with you. It's a beautiful Friday, and I hope it's looking good already, and I hope we get deals that we can classify as thank God it's Friday deals. Okay? I'm seeing a lot happening with Chams suddenly, and I posted in the Discord group that if you ever sold your Chams after all we've been saying, then you've not been listening. That's because suddenly Chams is at 2 naira 70 kobo, and if you bought at 2 naira or below, you are at least 35% up at that price. And that's the beautiful thing about penny stocks. 70 kobo gained, and you will see that translates to about 35% already if you bought at 2 naira or below. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. You know how we do it. So many people are showing interest, and there's a lot of progress that we can beat our chest to say we are making, because a lot more people are getting involved and trying to join up with us, and we are not relenting in making sure that we share this fantastic opportunity for everyone who is interested in building wealth. So congratulations, everybody here, both those in the Discord app and those on YouTube. Everywhere you are following and being a part of this fantastic wealth family, I want to congratulate you. Good afternoon to you all. I won't take too much of your time. I'll go on to market briefs immediately. You know how we do it. Calls are only going to be entertained 1 hour into today's live session. So we progress with market updates that I will be giving to you as I try to access them. All right. Excuse me. The weather is not very friendly with us here in Port Harcourt because it's been cold and all sorts of air conditioner issues, creating issues in the nostrils, but we just have to keep going. That's perhaps why I'm putting on a jacket today, just to beat off the cold, all right? Okay. So this first 1 hour we'll use to entertain every comment you have to make. Keep your questions coming in thick and fast, and most importantly, I'd like to remind us, you know how we do it. Go ahead, start power tapping your screens. I mean, keep tapping your screens severally. That way you generate likes, and then of course give gifts, and then share the live session. You don't know which life you are about to save by those screen actions. Thank you very much, Clean. I see your gift there. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Gloritzi says, Coach, what's the ticker symbol for Academic Press? Academic Press is AP. Academic Press is Academy, right? Let me try to see. Okay. Academic Press. All right, I'll switch over to this system so we can all see what I'm doing. All right, just a moment. I'm going to sign in now, and we fly. Okay, 80% of the live goal is completed already. Celebrate the moment. Really? Interesting. We are firing on all cylinders. That's what I see. Akudo Onyido says, you look great in your jacket, though. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, they claim that I have signed in here already. Okay, while we are waiting for all of that, let's do this. Top gainers of the day. Let's see if any of our favorites are up there, right? Come with me and let's go onto the screen for the top gainers for the day. As we speak right now, number 1 on the top gainers list is Champion Breweries. Champion Breweries, 10% gain, 13 naira 20 kobo. Somebody was asking if they should sell their Champion. The brewery sector is really surprising us, especially the what you call penny breweries. Suddenly, we do not have any penny brewery stocks. Number 2 on the top gainers list is John Holt PLC, 7 naira 70 kobo. Deep Cap, number 3, 10% gained, 1 naira 21 kobo. Red Star Express is number 4, top gainer, 9.99% gained. Red Star Express is number 4 at 8 naira 37 kobo. UPDC, number 5, 4 naira 75 kobo, 9.98% gained. For most of you who were able to buy UPDC under 3, you know what you went through. UPDC kept jumping above 3 and then it will come below 3. Jump back above 3 and then it will come down below 3. But it didn't stay too long when it established that support above 3 and then it shot up to above 4. Right now, 4 naira 74 kobo per share, number 5 top gainer. Number 6, Legend Internet, 8 naira 50 kobo, gaining 9.96%. I can tell you this particular stock has been very volatile. You know what? When it gets to 8, close to 9, it will drop back to around 5. So some people are really trading with this stock and making a lot of money out of it. Next time, if you are a trader, go through your charts and check. Whenever the stock drops back to around 5, then you can buy for a quick short-term trade. But most importantly, I can tell you the fundamentals does not justify the current price right now, or the current price does not justify the fundamentals, however you want to put it. Number 7 top gainer, Sovereign Insurance, 9.85%, currently 1 naira 45 kobo. Number 8, Thomas Wyatt, 9.76%, 2 naira 25 kobo. Number 9, Triple G. They are in the computer industry. Now, Triple G is a stock I see that may eventually start doing sympathy play with Chams, because they are all in the same sector. Triple G, CWG, Chams, and E-Transact. They are all in similar sectors. And now that I'm really recalling, there are about 4 of them in similar sectors, sector. Maybe I should also do a comparative analysis like I did yesterday for the press companies listed as printing presses. Out of the 3, in fact, there are actually 4, because there is another one. I'll get the name now. Out of all of them, Academy Press is the leader. Even though, as at yesterday, Learn Africa, which is one of the printing press companies, was actually selling at 6, while Academy Press was selling less than 6. But what do we have right now? Academy Press is receiving attention already, and we watch to see how far it can go. Like I said yesterday, if TIP can be selling at 9 naira with almost the same earnings per share, even though they are not in the same sector, but at least I can compare them together because their overhead costs are not too much, and the disparity may not be much in terms of cost of sales. So what do we have? We have a situation where Academy Press is still underpriced by my valuation. If you go through this, you will see number 9, Triple G, like I said. And then number 10, Prestige Assurance, 9.6%, 1 naira 37 kobo. That was another stock that stayed long under 1 naira, Prestige Assurance. And I hope most of you got hold of that stock. I kept saying buy Prestige under 1 naira, buy Prestige under 1 naira. Now it's 137. Even if you bought Prestige for 1 naira per share, at 1 naira per share, what we have here now at 137 means you are 37% up in profit already. Interesting, isn't it? And permit me to add the number 11 stock on the top gainers chart, E-Transact. Now you understand why Chams will continue to gain, because it's looking like that sector is waking up. After CWG opened the way, we now have Chams trying to gather steam. We now have Triple G trying to rise. In fact, it's actually selling about the same price with Chams as we speak. And then, of course, E-Transact, another one in about the same sector. So there's a whole lot going on. What I have observed is that the top 10 gainers today are purely penny stocks. And that means don't be surprised if the big runners are not making any move yet. They all have their times. And this is why in this community, we teach you to diversify your portfolio and create a sort of balance so that by all means, whatever is happening in the market, you are benefiting, but you are not endangering your portfolio. For instance, if you have your portfolio loaded with more penny stocks, you will suffer when the market experiences any downturn, right? Or when the penny stocks are not really moving. But guess what? If you are able to strike a good balance, even when there's market turbulence, because you have growth stocks in your portfolio, you will be fine, right? So that's it about the top gainers for the day. So we go ahead again to try to see if I can now sign in, and let's review market updates. Yes? All right. Keep your questions coming in. I'm ready. I've logged in. I can now be able to see and tell you what's happening. Never mind my position. Everything is possible. Coach, is it okay to buy Chams at the current price today? Ikechukwu Okezikam. My question is, why do we always wait till a stock price shoots up and then we want to buy? What if you buy as it is rising only for it to start dropping? That's my question. But in any case, at 2.70 kobo, without knowing what may happen in the market, without knowing how many are still in the hands of traders, I can say it's not bad to buy it at 2.70 kobo, barring any unforeseen circumstances. But this was a stock that was available at 2 naira for so long before it moved to 2 naira 10 and then 2.15 and then 2.20. All of those phases, it kept staying there. Now, if I say don't buy, it's too high, then it goes further higher, I'm going to be blamed. You see? So the ball is in your court based on what I'm seeing here. 9.9 million shares bidded for Chams and 4.1 million on offer. That's the situation. So the offers are less than the bids, meaning there is strong interest in Chams. Suddenly, this is something very rare, and maybe Chams may follow up this with some breaking news about whatever progress they have made, and then the stock price might just balloon. In any case, at 2.70 naira kobo, by the time you consider that holders of Chams who qualify for the rights issue are already enjoying a discount of 1 whole naira per share on the rights issue they will be receiving. And that means that that rights issue is going to be fully subscribed, because you can't see a stock selling in the market at 2.70 naira kobo and not collect an offer they are giving you at 1.70 naira kobo. That's the kind of bargain we make for ourselves here. If I decided to keep the information to myself and just run around this, what would have happened to some of us who can now benefit? And it doesn't make me any wealthier, right? So we are now happier because most of us have bagged a lot of Chams, and we're going to be collecting the rights issue at very fantastic discounts. Imagine 2.70 naira kobo right now, they're going to give you Chams at 1.70 naira kobo. And the more the Securities and Exchange Commission continues to delay the approval of that application for the rights issue, the more the stock price goes up, the better the discount we shall be receiving. So it's a jolly good ride as far as Chams is concerned. And the issue of dilution of shares will now become of no effect, because as we speak, great value is being created, and that's what the rights issue is meant for. Okay? So we go ahead, keep your comments coming in. The last transaction was 22,000 Chams, and okay, 22,000 Chams. By the way, GM, good morning, Coach Peter Ian says, my colleague wants to start investing 15,000 monthly on Nigerian stock market. Which to buy? Let me explain this to you. For those who keep coming to ask what to buy, I have this amount, I have that amount. All you need to do is go back to the videos and listen on YouTube, because after finishing 2 hours of live session, for instance, somebody still comes to the DM to be asking me, I have 1 million, what should I buy? You are not helping me. I've said this before, and I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself too much. Everything has been prepared for you. What else do you want? Even if you were in the live session and afterwards you run into money that you want to invest, go back to the YouTube videos and watch them, at least the last one or the last few, because a lot of stocks have been reviewed there and mentions have been made. For somebody who wants to invest like 15,000, 50,000, 100,000 monthly, such a person should look for stocks like Chams, Qtix, penny stocks. I've mentioned UPDC under 3 naira, now it's 4 naira plus, right? And Then you can accumulate some First Bank. Of course, Fidelity Bank as well. Let me check what the situation is with Fidelity Bank, particularly that Fidelity Bank has been very interesting in my eyes. Every time it is under 20 naira, I can tell you that's a bargain price. 13 million shares bidded for versus 6.8 million on offer, 19 naira 80 kobo. So you can also buy Fidelity Bank. So these are the stocks you can pick up. I do not want to mention FTN Cocoa because those are more speculative buys and you could just get trapped. Why? It's been lingering around 1 naira 90 kobo for a long time. And then suddenly it jumps above 2 naira and then 3 and 4. So if you go in and put in your capital, you are most likely going to lose money because the stock will eventually retrace. Have you seen what's happening with Ella Lakes? Let's go ahead and see what's the situation with Ella Lakes. As we speak right now, Ella Lakes, having closed at 9 naira yesterday, was on full offer most recently. There was no single bid at some point, but currently there are now bids at 8 naira 20 kobo and 8 naira 10 kobo, down from the 9 naira it closed yesterday. 2 million bids versus 15.7 million offers. So the offers are 15 million versus 2 million bids, right? Okay, on to Academy Press is 6 naira 17 kobo. Is it a good buy? If you ask me, even at 6 naira 70 kobo, Academy Press is a very good buy. Let's go up there and see. The last transaction done was 10,000 shares. Yesterday, it closed at 5 naira 61 kobo. Remember, just before I mentioned it yesterday, it was at 5 naira 10 kobo. Then it closed at 5 naira 61 kobo. If anybody is here who bought yesterday, congratulations to you. The value in Academy Press is a lot because I don't see a reason why a stock that is earning 1 naira per share, earnings per share of 1 naira plus, is still selling at 6 naira, while some other stocks that do not even earn up to 50 kobo are selling above 10 naira and so on. In any case, earnings per share is not just all. I've told you how, having checked through every other printing press company listed on the exchange, Academy Press stands out. Besides just depending on school book publication for schools, because you know, in those days, that's what they depended on. And that meant that every time schools were on vacation, these companies like this do not make money. But you see, they have progressed beyond that and are now doing a whole lot of things. I did a detailed update of what they do now, which is no more seasonal. So beyond the seasonal income that they earn, they are now making money regularly. And of course, you know what happens during election years, when banners and flyers and posters and all kinds of printing will be going on. They stand to make a lot of money. Beyond that, there are so many things I mentioned yesterday. Let me not waste our time. But as we speak, it has moved from yesterday's 5 naira 61 kobo to 6 naira 17 kobo. And let's see what the bid and offer is. 1.1 million bids versus 0 offers. So for now, 1 million shares of Academy Press has been traded, and we are looking at making a lot of money from this stock because even though I've not done the fair value valuation, I can tell you I'd rather continue to have a company that earns 1 naira per share at 5 or 6 naira per share than be afraid of what the value is. Currently, it's still a good buy. That's my take on that. I'm seeing a 100,000 one-off stock bid right there, standing at 6 naira 17 kobo. So if that 100,000 shares are cleared, then it will surely close at the maximum 6 naira 17 kobo. Okay, call me. Tell me, Tokwe says, I bought QTX this morning at 3 naira 96. That's another one I told you. Do not run after stocks that are flying because there is a tendency for them to try to pull back. So that was a good pullback you entered in. Let's see what QTX is. At the moment, 420. So after you bought, perhaps the people panicked, right? Holders of QTX panicked. One thing I've noticed with QTX is that there is a lot of liquidity. That stock is a whole lot in the market, and it means every time it moves up, there's going to be a pullback. So if you miss one step, just wait a bit, you're going to get it more. Why? Because from the bid and offer analysis I'm looking at right now, I'm seeing that QTX has about 5 million bids versus 30.8 million offers. That's a lot. That's quite a lot. And what that means is that the pressure is on the sellers, those putting it on offer. There are 30 million on offer that they want to sell versus just 5 million. So you can comfortably find a range for buying at 396 kobo. I guess that's a good range, especially considering it's Friday and nothing really fantastic is going to happen with QTix at the moment. It's just a repricing that is going on, and the people who want to sell can panic sell because some of them bought less than 3 naira. They may want to jump out as quickly as possible to bank some profits and wait for where it bottoms out. This is a very interesting scenario we are seeing here already. The last transaction was 100,000 shares at 4 naira 20 kobo for QTix. Okay? All right. Keep your questions and your comments coming in. Let's see how it goes. Please, what do you think about Guinea Insurance hair accessories beads? Well, Guinea Insurance, the last time I checked was last year when most of the insurance companies tried to rally towards the end of last year. I said here that Guinea Insurance was going to go above 1 naira from when it was around 70 something kobo, and it was a normal process. Having gone through beyond 1 naira before and dropped to around 60 kobo or so, it was going back. I remember Alhaja Nafisat called in here and I told her, hold on to Guinea, let it cross above 1 naira before you sell, and then sell off deep. Well, deep was still moving, but it doesn't have as good a fundamental as Guinea Insurance. In any case, Guinea is currently now at 1 naira 5 kobo. Yesterday, it was 99 kobo, and I was saying it will surely cross 1 naira. Now, that's where it is currently. Let's see the bid and offer status to know whether or not it's viable for you to buy. Well, 5 million bids versus 3 million offers. The bids are more, but I do not see that being too much of a pressure for holders to sell, right? And we are seeing the highest bid is at 1 naira 1 kobo, 1.3 million bids. That's the highest block bid. And then the lowest offer is at 105, and that's the last price Guinea Insurance has been traded. For me, when a stock gradually takes time to climb above 1, it may face some resistance. And a lot of, why? Because a lot of people bought at 80 kobo, at 79 kobo, 75 kobo, and all that. And now that it has crossed 1, there is always a psychological barrier when a stock tries to hit a threshold. Just like we saw how that NACO attempted to leap above 100 for the first time ever. And it actually did successfully, climbed above 100, stayed up to 105, but eventually got kicked back. Now it has to go back again and reorganize itself. Why does that happen? This is technical analysis explained in layman language, right? Because I don't like technicalities. I don't want to confuse the multitudes listening right now. So what happens is there were people who bought this same NACO. I was looking at a video I never posted of NACO. If you want it, just type yes, 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 and maybe I should post it somewhere and advise where I should post it. I did that analysis around February this year when I was looking at the full year result of NACO for 2024. As at that time, NACO was selling at 45 naira. So imagine people who bought NACO in February at 45. Imagine that it got to 100. Most of them will offload. So that volume that they came to offload in the market eventually saw that it was kicked back from the 100 down, right? So that's what happened. So now fresh holders will keep collecting. Remember, when it was at 77, I announced to us that institutional investors, especially pension fund administrators, were buying into NACO. In that case, what now happened was it kept rising. So most of those institutional buyers who entered at 77 and above will remain in NACO. So a fresh level of, will I say, support that will build up to now push it perhaps permanently above 100 is building up. Let's see what's happening with NACO, by the way. Okay, NACO is at 96 right now, down from the 97.5 97.9 yesterday it closed. 1 million bids versus 1.5 million offers, and just about 360,000 shares traded. Okay? So there is nothing too fancy about that video, but it will be nice for you to take a look at it and see. I was just saying, now that this NACO has achieved so and so in their full year 2024 result, the stock price of NACO should start rising again. And exactly as I stated, just that I didn't say how much it should rise to. We just know from the reports by the fundamentals when a stock is primed to keep rising. In any case, that's what happened with NACO, all right? So that's by the way. Keep your comments coming in, and if I have to go onto the screen, I will do. But for now, let me face you straight up. Please, can I still buy more of Okomo oil? Well, Okomo oil, let's see. For Okomo oil, I tell you what, it is consolidating and perhaps trying to wait on, what do you call, on what a Presco does. You know, you have to follow your leader when leadership has been established. All right. Okay, Baba Gibbs says, I bought NACO when it was 73, you see, and I'm sure you were able to buy that NACO at 73 because it's not been long you joined. If you were following me a year ago, it would be too difficult for you to buy. Ask me why. A year ago, if you were with us a year ago, NACO would have been very difficult for you to buy at 73. Just ask me why. Type your why. Say why. I'll tell you why. All right. Just a moment. I'll take you where I want to answer your question, right? Let's see your whys. Why? All right. If you were following me a year ago, NACO would have been difficult for you to buy. That's because today is 4th of July, right? As at the 5th of July 2024, that's it. As at the 5th of July 2024, NACO was selling at 36 naira per share. 36 naira per share. 36 naira per share. And I kept shouting, buy NACO, buy NACO, buy NACO. 36 naira per share. For me, my first buy of NACO was 9 naira per share. Some of you must have heard me say it several times, but those who are just joining, they need to also know. This same NACO that is at 90 something, I bought at 9 naira per share. And guess what? Let's learn some lessons here. By the way, 1 year ago at 36 naira means 171% profit if you got NACO then. 171% profit. And with that 171% profit, you can't now come back and say, oh, you want to rebuy the NACO. But you see, value continues to be created. And so any new entrant who bought NACO at 77, congratulations, because NACO eventually will still find its way back above 100. I can assure you that, right? All right. So what I'm saying is there are lessons to be learned here. First off, even myself, now it's making you look like, wow, 9 naira per share. I bought it 9 naira, it's now 90-something naira per share. Wow. And you think when you buy a stock and the stock price drops, you have a problem? You don't have a problem. If you buy fundamentally sound stocks, there is no issue with the stock price dropping. You know why? Because even when I bought that NACO, after all my due diligence and everything at 9 naira, just after I bought, the stock price dropped. It dipped to 8 naira and almost got to 7 naira. But unfortunately, I had expended the whole cash I had that time. You get the point now. So don't panic when you buy a stock that they have told you is a sound stock because it dropped after you bought. It's not about the timing eventually. And that's what I love about long-term investing. It's not about the timing, okay? Showy says, I got NACO at 32. Awesome. Coach, please, what is the best price to buy UCAP? The best price was 18 naira per share, right? Unfortunately, it's no longer 18. I saw it jumping this morning. I told you yesterday, was it 2 days ago? Yes, 2 days ago, I was saying this UCAP is about to jump. The way I'm looking at it, it has stayed at 19 for so long, and understandably so, because of the 2-for-1 bonus they did. But just like QTIX, it stayed for so long because of the 1-for-1 bonus. It will always consolidate. Just like African Prudential, they gave 1-for-1 bonus, right? Their time will come later this year when the price will start picking up, having been weighed down for so long in terms of trying to recover from that, what you call 1-for-1 bonus. That's the same now with a stock like VFD Group. So those stocks who give heavy bonuses take time to recover. Then when they recover and bounce back, it becomes something else, right? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the case. So if you buy a good stock, if you find it drop, don't panic. Stay in there. It's just a matter of time. Those stocks will fly back up. Coach, please, what price can I enter UBA today? UBA, let's see what the situation is with that stock right now. UBA is currently losing slightly, 36 naira 65 kobo. It closed yesterday, currently 36.40. There are more bids than offers for UBA, and that means there is a chance that you can buy, today being Friday, there's a chance you can buy maybe, let's see, give it 500,000, okay? You can place a bid around the 500,000 shares threshold for now in terms of the league of bidders, and place a bid at 36.10. Place a bid at 36.10 and let's see if you succeed. Okay, I haven't received my 1-for-1 bonus from AfriPrud. When was the qualification date, sir? Qualification date for African Prudentials, I can't really recall immediately, but the question is whether or not they have done allotment. So, can I still buy more Okomu, official FOG? Yes, you can. Official TOG. Yes, you can, please. What can you say about Bua Cement and Bua Food entry points? Well, both Buas have retraced, which is a good thing, right? And it's up to us to decide if we should enter. I can assure you that current price, not bad, unless you want to be so thorough to check exactly what it is right now, and I'll do that for you. Currently, Bua Cement, 92 naira, down from 93 it was, and 1.3 million bids. All Bua needs is for the bids, is for the offers to dry up. 1.3 million offers versus 323,000 bids. And then, so 92 or 91. You could actually buy it at 91 if you put in a reasonable quantity of bids. And then for Bua Foods, it's at 450 naira per share, just 27,000 bids, meaning you could also buy at 440. All things being equal, if you get some desperate sellers of Bua. All right, so that's the situation with those stocks. Academy is on full bid. All right, let me check again to see what the full bid situation is with Academy. Academy price, we'll see. 24,800 shares traded. Most recently, 1.4 million bids at the moment. What of livestock? That's coming from Philip. Could check livestock also. See what the situation is with that stock. Livestock feeds. Livestock is currently 10 kobo down from yesterday's 9 naira 35 kobo, currently 9 naira 25. 2.2 million bids versus 5.4 million offers. There's no way other agri sector stocks will rise that livestock will not respond. Just that livestock has been flying on its own. So when others are moving, it has to just stay on. Can I still buy UPDC Coach? That's coming from Splashy J. UPDC becomes dangerous at this point to buy, because it also has a tendency of being dumped heavily when the stock price shoots up. And I think it has shot to that reasonable level where most of the long-term holders will want to dump. In any case, there are heavy bids at 4 naira 70 kobo as we speak. About 3.3 million serious bid right there at 4 naira 70 kobo. Total bids 8.1 million bids versus 372,000 offers. So the offers are very little, meaning, you know, as at yesterday, it was on full bid, no offer. Today, offers started coming out. So it is now showing that the price may, the stock may eventually start becoming available, and the price appreciation is slowing down because there is still an offer at 4 naira 74 kobo, but currently it's selling at 4 naira 70 kobo. So some of the traders have offloaded. Guinea Insurance does not pay dividend. Guinea Insurance is too cheap to pay dividend. A stock that is less than 1 naira per share. Where will it get the money from? All right, let me check for you. Guinea Insurance. For those stocks, if you are looking for dividend, please run away from most insurance stocks, unless, that's why they are that cheap, because they underperform a lot. Coach, is Dangote Cement a good buy now? I can tell you, Shoyinka, that Dangote Cement is actually a good buy, irrespective of what is going on right now, which is not surprising to me. 419 naira per share at the moment, 2.2 million bids versus 571,000 offers, talking about Dangote Cement. I think for stocks like this, you accumulate little by little and take time to build your portfolio because it is not cheap, so you don't buy all at once. But guess what? It will soon be at oversold region. That's a technical term for a stock that has dropped too low and can only start finding its way upwards. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, today is the qualification date for Presco. So Presco holders, congratulations, your dividend of 42 naira per share will be coming to you next month. But today is the qualification date. So anybody who owns Presco, congrats, you expect your dividend, I think, next month. And of course, if you buy today, you should also benefit from that dividend that is going to be paid. 42 naira per share. That's a whole lot. That's what makes Presco a king. Can you imagine? That Presco earns 100 naira earnings per share. Amazing, isn't it? So when you saw the stock price surging from 450 when we started buying last November to over 1,100, 1,200, you know why. It's a powerhouse. Those are the kind of places you stash up a lot of money so that you know that your retirement is settled. Looking great, coach. I'm eyeing 10,000 units of RDL. What's a good entry price now, please? Talking from, that's talking about coming from Dr. Newton. Dr. Newton, I'll check for you. I saw RDL also gaining attention. Let's see, 529 naira per share at the moment. Okay, the offers are more, 1.2 million, but it is interesting to see that it continues to sell higher. That's a mystery, some sort of a mystery. There are only 347,000 bids for Aradel, but there are 1.2 million offers, yet it's gaining. Most of the bids are above 525, even though it closed yesterday at 515. Can I buy much of NIDF? Gracias is asking. Gracias, as long as quarterly dividend is your target, go ahead and buy as much NIDF as you can. Just calculate maybe 5 naira 40 kobo per share dividend estimate. That's what times whatever number of shares you buy. That's what you will get every 3 months. This is barring a situation where they increase it. Of course, if they increase the dividend payout per share, it means it continues to rise, okay? It continues to grow. Coach, can you talk about how you determine if a company is good from the performance? Abdul Samad from the fundamentals. Abdul Samad, that's a long process. It's called fundamental analysis. Google it and gather materials to learn, because if I want to start that, I can't even communicate, because you need a screen to share to you and show you fundamental analysis. Just go ahead and Google it. Wherever you can find any material, you start reading, because that means you will have to understand a financial report, and there are 3 stages of financial report we're talking about, or 3 segments of financial report. You're talking about the income statement, you're talking about the balance sheet, and then the third one, which is I think the cash flow statement. Yes. All right, which stock to buy now as a beginner? Discovery 001. Which stock to buy as a beginner? If you were here 3 days ago, I would have said QTix. But now is the time to wait for QTix to bottom out. Okay? So I can still go ahead and recommend Fidelity Bank and First Bank. Start with that while we wait for some of the very good penny stocks to bottom out from their recent increase. For Chams, it hasn't gone too far. For, like I said, Academy Press, it hasn't gone too far. As you can see, a stock like TIP, having hit a very high 10 Naira plus, had to be brushed down yesterday. Currently trying to stabilize at 9 plus. All right? Okay. Yeah, cash flow. Oh, I got my people, GK Matic Man and Dove Live. I see you there, cash flow, yes. You know, when you have too many things in your head, you can easily forget. There are sometimes you get into an exam hall, something you know very well. You can just say, please spell R for me, R. That is, are you going? Help me spell R, because you get so choked in your brain, you can't spell a simple A-R-E. Coach, you didn't tell us the price to bid for Aradel. Tyson J. All right, Aradel, I said there are heavy bids up to 525. I think that's where you can bid. Otherwise, then you go as low as 520. Currently it's selling at 528. There is a likelihood that you can still buy at 520 or even less. But if you want to be very safe, then you bid at 520. I think 520. I mean 525. Otherwise, you want to strike a strong bargain, 520 is the price. Coach, what do you think about Name and Veritas? Name has gone too high. It becomes a gamble at this point. And we are not gamblers here. We try to make sure of the safety of our funds. Remember the 2 rules of investing? Never lose your capital, rule number 1. And then rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. So Nemet has gone too high. Veritas is a much more safer stock to buy now, considering it hasn't risen too far and continues to hover around 1 Naira and 105. Let's see how much Veritas is at the moment. Veritas cap, woo! Suddenly it shoots to 113. And guess what? There are 58 million offers, bids, versus 4.4 million offers. Lady UI, hello, how are you? Sir, what can you say about Beja Paint? Is it a good buy? Where were you when I mentioned Beja at between 18 and 19 Naira per share? This is not when you should be talking about Beja anymore. Beja has jumped to 30-something Naira as we speak. These are the issues. Maobi can clearly remember when we had a brief discussion about Beja right here in this live session. Beja Paints, as we speak right now, is at 33 Naira per share. Imagine you bought at 19 or 20, and that was a very short time. Can I remind you, let's go on and check, so that we work with facts here, right? Beja Paints, that's it. I will show you how quickly that stock jumped. 1 month. That's it. On the 3rd of June, we work with facts here, right? And this is why what we do a lot of times comes out with some level of precision. We know what we're doing. It's not second guessing. We're not investing blindly. Take a look. June 3rd, 1 month ago, Beja paid 20 naira 50 kobo. And then 1 month after, boom, today is 5th of July, 33 naira per share. That's talking about 60% gain in 1 month. So this now is not the time to go and buy this stock, because after now, it will start coming down. It's a simple technical procedure that those who bought at 20 will be selling, especially those who bought for short-term trades. Fundamentals, solid. It has been so all along, right? Beauty Fine Shop, Coach, UACN or Cadbury. Now that's a very, very serious one, because you want to look at a whole lot of things. Based on where the both are, let's see. Cadbury currently is at 48.85. Can I tell you, Cadbury traded at 50 this morning. I saw it at 50 and I just smiled before we came on live. So some people have already bought Cadbury at 50, currently 48. Then we go on to UACN. UACN at 40, right? Okay. As far as current fundamentals is concerned, especially considering first quarter performance, Cadbury would be my choice, even though it is 8 naira more expensive than UACN. We do not know what the second quarter result will turn out to be to make the half-year result of both. We will see 2 weeks from now, the results will start coming out. And if it happens, then we can be able to tell which is better amongst the two. Someone asked, I think it was Louisa Oge, that asked 3 days ago, between the three of them, which is better? And talking about Cadbury, UACN, and Unilever. And I was clear, Unilever is it, right? So eventually, we're going to see a situation where after the first half results are out, some stocks will reprice. But for now, if you ask me, I'd still go with Cadbury based on what I see. Like I said, my 1 year projection for Cadbury, or 1 year outlook for Cadbury, is around, based on first quarter result, is around 70 plus per share. So based on that comfort, I will relax. If you follow some of these websites, foreign websites, and check the results, you will see that you will be seeing losses for Cadbury. So I am not talking about what has passed. I'm working with what is happening now and what could be happening in the nearest future. Okay? So that way you are one step ahead of the crowd. The basic thing you will see when you make your searches anywhere is the full year results. No, we've gone past that. We're looking at the first quarter, now waiting for the second quarter to work with. So all the time, we jump into a good stock ahead of time, right? That's the idea. Thank you very much. Okay, sir, which stock should I average up on? Nascon, Guinness, Dang Sugar, NNFM, Boa Cement, Aradel. These are very solid powerhouses you have there, and a fantastic mix, right? Woody, very hard to call here. Solid stocks. Well, my take would be average up on the one that you have the least number of shares. I think let's start from there, because they all have their fantastic prospects. I'm still trying to make a choice while still telling you to average up on whichever is lesser in your portfolio. Can't really make a choice on the spot right now. I really can't, because there are very solid stocks there you've got. So the idea to average up is fantastic. Very, very okay. Coach, should I sell my name it or keep it for long term? Susan Tambo. Susan, please confirm to me, why did you buy? Was it for long term or for the quick gain? If it's for the quick gain, the quick excitement, go ahead and sell. Bank your profit and hope that maybe it comes down again, because those who bought at 2 naira, name it, 3 naira, and so on, they are going to sell. They will surely sell. We still have a long way to go. And you know what? Most stocks will depreciate around October, November, when the interim dividends of most companies have been paid and the third quarter results have been announced. Most stocks will depreciate. Understand that and have peace. Okay, Abati Lanre says, C&I leasing, is it a good buy for a long term? Yes, C&I is doing a lot. Most recently, another stock not to look at and judge by their past. Something is coming up in C&I. It hasn't been very clear yet, but it looks like a good prospect. Let's see what's happening with C&I. In any case, C&I leasing. Okay, C&I leasing 5 naira 41 kobo at the moment, 3.8 million bids versus 4 million offers. Coach, I am 250% up on Nemet. Should I sell or hold still for long term? Ebuka, let's see what the pressure is like on Nemet, because one assurance I can give to you is that Nemet will see a sell down anytime soon. 7 naira 93 kobo. That's a lot, and you still have 6 million bids versus 565,000 offers. So the bids are still more. If we hope and pray that you don't have too much supply before the market closes, then Nemet may continue to rise by Monday. But you know what? This Nemet started rising from around 3 and has not stopped. The natural course of action is for the stock to pull back. If you want to be very safe, this is the time to sell and collect 250% from this stock. Okay? And then wait for it to pull back if you have long-term plans for it. Otherwise, you sit down and watch the 250% gain plummet down because people are selling and taking profits and you are standing by. The ball is in your court. Sometimes these are stocks that you can actually play with and still come back to buy cheaper than you sold. The ball now is in your court. Good afternoon, Coach. I have missed this platform lately. Good to be here to learn from you. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. At Jerry. C&I leasing, is it a good buy? I've responded to that. Okay, what can you say about Boa Cement? I've responded to that. Academy Press, is it a dividend-paying company? Very good question there from Jogging. No, not Jogging. Only Stick. Only Stick, I'll confirm to you right here. Academy Press, let's go there. Academy Press, yes, it's a dividend-paying stock, 10 kobo per share. That's why the stock price remained low. But now that they are earning more than 1 naira per share, let's see what it is. So Academy is a dividend-paying stock. What do you think about Multiverse? Is it a good buy right now? Multiverse has a behavior that the market still does not understand. Currently up to 9 naira 10 kobo. It should have done better than this, but for various supplies that kept dropping in. In any case, at the moment, it's at 9 naira 10 kobo. Just 142,000 shares offered versus 722,000 bidded for. So the bids are still higher than the offers for Multiverse. One thing with Multiverse is when it starts moving, it becomes very difficult to find because suddenly the scarcity is out of this world, right? Okay. Felicia Ajayi, hi, good afternoon. Questions? How do we join the group? Join late, hence might have been discussed already. Happy to DM. All right, feel free, testing. Send me a DM, I'll forward the link to you. In any case, you can watch the full video of every live session on my YouTube channel. So go ahead, subscribe, it's all free, so you catch up with whatever you miss out on. We are doing this for most of our members who are in Canada, US, and those who are occupied with work anywhere they are, right? So you take your time, especially now that it's weekend, you can go through a whole lot of those videos used during the weekend to make up your mind on where to invest. What do you think about Access Bank, Dangote Sugar? If you ask me to pick from the two, I'll pick Dangote Sugar for the fantastic prospects that awaits Dangote Sugar in the future. For Access, the management have promised that they want to improve on dividend payout. And if they do, then the stock price will advance. But you know what? This market does not reward promises. Until you perform, nothing can happen. All right. We are approaching the 1 o'clock mark when calls will start being received. So get your questions ready and let's keep going. When should I sell my GT, please? Bisoye, did you buy to sell? GT Bank is one stock that I always advise people, let it be a mainstay in your portfolio. Those are the stocks that gives you stability when there's a market crash. Listen, we are not here for hit and run. If you are here for hit and run, the market may surprise you with a crash that you will never recover from. So what we try to do is to teach you to balance your portfolio. I have been in the stock market for 27 years because of this practice. Your portfolio should be at least 70% long-term dividend-paying growth stocks versus 30% value stocks that could be penny stocks. The whole idea is no matter what happens, we've seen it live and direct. Every time there's a market crash, the big guns continue to find their way up. If you understand this, there's nothing to scare you from the market. So we practically teach that here. If you are joining for the first time, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM and I'll send you the link to open your stock brokerage account. And then, of course, follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will see the beginner guide videos. Then ask for the Net Worth Investors Club. That's where we are on Discord. We migrated many years ago from, did I say many years ago? Maybe 3 years ago. From WhatsApp to Discord app. And that's where we are. That's my Instagram handle there. That's also my YouTube handle. The same Wealth Coach Omiete. Spell it correctly or send me a DM. I'll send you the link to join us on Discord. We are now over 2,400 members on Discord app. Nigerians in Nigeria and Nigerians abroad. We are all over that place and some foreigners. So let's get going. Please tell us about CWG, Chams, and LLX. Well, CWG is retracing, LLX is retracing, Chams is now the one rising amongst them. So if you have to buy, it's still not late to buy Chams, right? Chams is currently 265, so it has dropped from 270, but it's not relenting, okay? That's because some people have gone to place offers at 2.65 naira, not a problem. And then for CWG, it's retracing from the 15 naira I got to. In any case, it's currently gaining back up again to 14 naira 40 kobo. 3 million bids versus 2 million offers for CWG. So the interest is building again for CWG. Like I said before, my valuation for CWG is nothing less than 17 naira per share. And all the way from wherever you joined when I started mentioning CWG at 5 naira or at 6, 7, 8, 9 naira, 10 naira, 11, then you are on your way to that top. In any case, it doesn't mean if it gets to 17, it can't get to 20 though. But you see, we are investing for the long term. So let's have that long-term mentality. And quickly, before we get the lines open for calls to come in, I would like to also inform us that we are now in our knowledge session. And in today's knowledge session, because this live session is meant to also equip you with knowledge, it is educational, right? So in today's knowledge session, I'd like to talk about return on investment. Most of you, you've been hearing this, especially real estate practitioners, and they say you get a ROI of so and so, return on investment. The question is, how many of us understand what return on investment is? Because if you don't know these terms, then you are just investing blindly. You may not even know what to look out for, okay? So very simply put, I'm going to explain this and then we'll work it out just now. Return on investment is the percentage profit you make on the capital invested in a particular asset, be it in real estate, be it in stocks, be it in Bitcoin, or whatever it is. Your return on investment is the percentage returns you get from the capital invested, right? Now, all of that is junk grammar, and that's why I hate theory. So, I will show you the practical terms. One person, just tell me one stock you bought that I mentioned in November, how much you bought it in November, and how much it is now in profit. Then we can practically together work out what the return on investment, because in the end, the theory should be transmitted or interpreted into figures that I can understand, relate with, and deal with. Is that okay? All right. You were here in November. I mentioned the stock. Tell me what stock you bought, at what price, and how much it is right now. All right. Additional is the first I'm seeing on TikTok. We'll work with that. He said he bought WAPCO at 39 naira per share in November. So the buying price is 39 naira. Current price is how much? Let's see what the price of WAPCO is in the market as we speak. Well, WAPCO currently 92 naira. So we have two key things to work with: the buying price and this price if he sells now. So 39 naira and 92 naira. Recommended WAPCO here at 39. Now it is 92. Let's go onto the calculator, right? So the way to the formula for calculating return on investment is the selling price minus the buying price over the buying price times 100. Is that easy to make? All right. Nafisa has mentioned hers. Name it. I bought at 2 naira 15 kobo when you mentioned, and today name it is 790 something. You guys are really making money. I've told you, millionaires are emerging from here. You will so make this money, you'll be amazed. Hold on, let's work on this now. 92 naira WAPCO currently minus, that's the selling price, minus the buying price, 39 naira, is equal to 53 naira, all divided by the buying price, which is 99 naira, times 100. So, additional, was it additional? Additional. That's it there. Your return on investment on WAPCO is 135%. 135% is the return on investment. From today, everybody who has been in this live session should now understand how to calculate return on investment. Now, 135% is what you have made minus the profit, the capital you put in. So assume that you invested 1 million naira. What 135% return on investment means, you made an extra 1.35 million on your 1 million naira invested. I hope it's clear now. And to have achieved that between November and now is simply fantastic. I can tell you that. Okay? So this is how it works. 135% return on investment. I hope it is no longer academic jargon to you, because I don't like academic and theoretical explanations to things. Now that we have broken it down, I think that's the end of our knowledge session for today. So we proceed to the phone lines and get as many callers as possible to talk to us. Sweetest coach ever, OJ, I feel you there. Well understood. Thank you very much. Coach, can I sell my UCAP? I made gain and buy Academy Press. Hold on that UCAP. UCAP is meant to be a long-term stock. This is not the time to sell UCAP, please. Look for fresh funds for Academy Press. If you don't have, sit it out. Don't you see how I sat out the opportunity to buy Qtix, and all of you were enjoying it, right? If you are not following me, you are losing money. Can you see that? Additional has made 135% in one investment from when he bought in November. And of course, time will not permit us to go ahead to calculate the one mentioned by Al-Hajjah, right? Al-Hajjah bought Nemet at 2 naira something kobo, and now we're talking about 7 naira plus. That's multiples. That's over 300%, if you ask me. Close to 300%, 200 and something percent return on investment. Yes, so everybody can now, yes, Wellness and Skin says, my best financial class. I love this ROI. Exactly. Everybody can now go back later and begin to check, what exactly am I making? Let me be sure, right? ROI, broken down in simple terms. Don't worry, when I write my book, you will understand the stock market far better than anything else that you have heard anywhere else. By God's grace, I know how to find a way to break things into very simple, edible terms, so you can chew it like a baby. All right, the phone lines will now be open so we can receive calls. A lot of callers are already standing by there, and let's see how today's calls goes. 4 callers standing by already. Donald Ngam. Coach, can I sell my VFD group? Well, if you feel like selling, whatever the reason, make sure you're not selling at a loss though. I am in VFD for the longest of time. Good afternoon, Coach. VFD group just gave me my bonus today. My portfolio is dancing. Congratulations. Can I sell my UACN to buy Cadbury? I do not think that's okay. Look for fresh funds, right? But coach, is there a rule for return on investment? Like when return on investment is lower than 100, then OJ, you may want to refine your question. I'm still trying to understand. Is there a rule for ROI, like when ROI is lower than 100? Actually, when some people target 100%. If I understand your question now, some people target 100% return on investment. Once they hit 100%, they move. But you know what? In the stock market, so many reasons why we buy stocks, and therefore we treat different stocks in our portfolio differently. If you buy a stock because, for instance, if you are buying a stock like NIDF, knowing fully well that NIDF is a dividend stock, right? You don't expect a strong return on investment yet too quickly, because it is doing something else for you, which is steady dividend payment. But over a time, the market will notice it and dive into it. And then the stock price will start growing, right? That's the point. So, but for some other stocks, the same thing with all your dividend paying stocks. You know, during the dividend era, because by October, November again, it will be another interim dividend season. Now, it's only those who pay dividend twice a year that will be paying dividend that time. So if you bought some stocks just for dividend sake, you don't really push to sell them, even if you see 100%, unless something very pressing. Because from that 100%, as the company continues to do well, they will go ahead to keep gaining. 100% after some years might become 200, 300%. So the gains will just keep rising. You can decide, I'm done. For instance, I bought NACO 9 naira, it kept rising, rising, rising. Now 90 naira. That's how many percent? All right? Is that not 1,000%? You see? Now I can decide I'm done with 1,000%. Whatever NACO does is not my business. But you know what? NACO now pays dividend of 5 naira 93 kobo per share. Something you bought for 9 naira, they're paying you 5 naira every year. And some people actually bought this NACO 2 naira 5 years ago. So you bought it for 2 naira, you are receiving 5 naira plus every year. You won't be looking at return on investment. You'll be looking at the regular dividend yield that is more than twice how much you bought it. Every year you are receiving more than 2 times the money, because you bought 2 naira, they are paying you 5 naira. That's 2.5%, 2.5 times. That's 250% dividend yield. No stock can easily give you that. So the longer you stay in very good stocks, the better. Let me not take too much time that we should use for callers, but I hope we are getting something. Onochie, you are the next. Your call goes through and we have a good discussion. Hello.
Hello, coach.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon. I'm
Please tell
calling
us where you're
from
coming from.
I'm calling from UK.
Onochie from UK, we are glad to have you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for what you are doing. I've been following you I've been joining this class. Let me just call it an institution. I've been joining it for just few days now, just this week. So I've been missing a lot anyway. But I think whenever someone wakes up, it's his morning. So there's
Awesome.
still a lot of opportunities flying here and there. So not wasting your time, I have questions. As a beginner, I would like to know, because I want to start investing as soon as possible. But I just created, since I started following you this week, I just created 3212 and for foreign investments. I would also like to create Atlas later within the week. So I've just downloaded Instagram because I haven't been in Instagram, so that I can join you there too. Then, but what I want to know is I want to make a long time investment. I don't think I can be running here and there, checking stock and all those things. So I want to just make maybe 10 to 15 years stock. So I need a stable stock or a good stocks that can start paying someone dividend within a long time. Like you keep protecting your earning, reinvesting whatever you earn over time, like for 10 years or 15 years, then you can now start benefiting, getting your dividend.
Okay, 2 stocks I'll mention right away. Since you have not opened your brokerage account yet, sometimes these stocks, having mentioned them 1 week after, it becomes difficult if you should still buy. Price may now differ from when it was mentioned. But 2 key stocks I'll mention, and then I'll take you to the banking sector. Number 1, Aradel. Number 2, NIDF. You mentioned dividend, you mentioned long term. Those are 2 key stocks that you can buy and go to bed.
Okay.
So you go onto the banking sector, make sure you buy Fidelity Bank, UBA, and First Bank.
All right.
Start from there. Anytime you meet those stocks, buy and keep. They are fantastic long-term buys. One thing with long-term investing is you don't bother about how much it is, how much will it drop to. It is the fear of short-term investors that long-term investors use to restrict themselves from buying a stock, and the fear of the uncertainty of the market. Otherwise, if you are a long-term investor, when you are buying a stock, you get in there. Once you're done with the fundamentals, you are happy and satisfied with what the future prospects are, you proceed with
Yeah.
immediate alacrity. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we go on to the next. Ikechukwu Okezie, I think, is it Okezike, if I'm not mistaken. Ibuka says, Coach, Okomo and Presco, which one is better? Presco all day, even though Presco is more expensive. But you know what? Right? Or you could buy Okomo as a sympathy play. When Presco rises, Okomo follows. But the quality of both stocks, I can tell you without any fear of contradiction, Presco is a better buy than Okomo. Hello, sir. Hello, Ikechukwu, are you there? Otherwise, we proceed to the next caller. Ikechukwu is not there. We need to maximize the time available. So we go on to trying to connect with Okonkwo, but it went off. All right. J Ace. While J Ace is trying to connect, let me also try to see if I can take any question. Coach, please talk about UPDC PLC. What's driving it up? Well, it has stayed for too long under 3 naira, and every other stock was jumping. So in time, basic
Hello.
technical moves.
Hello, this is J Ace.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
For protocol's sake, where you're streaming from?
My name is Jay. I'm calling from China, Shanghai, China.
Thank you very much, Jay. Go ahead.
All right. I've got two questions. The first one is about my daughter. She doesn't use a Nigerian passport, but I want to transfer some of my stocks to her name. So I contacted my stockbroker, and they said she's got to have NIN and BVN, but she's never been to Nigeria. So I was thinking, like they said, it's not possible. So I'd like to know if it's possible.
Who says it's not possible? See your broker.
My stock, Morgan Stanley. I've used them for a year now, and they say it's not possible.
You mean Morgan Capital, right?
They said she needs to have the NIN. Sorry? Yeah, Morgan Capital, sorry.
Okay. Actually, for a minor account, I do not think that should be a problem. If we have Atlas Portfolios Limited in the house, maybe they want to throw more light on this. And if I find them on the queue, I will bring them up to throw more light. But I am thinking that if you opened a minor account for your daughter with you as the administrator, then it shouldn't be a problem whether or not she has NIN or BVN, because a child must also almost be of age to obtain a BVN, for instance. In any case, with you as the administrator, I do not think they need any other bank account. What they need is you being the guardian, who is the administrator. The minor account will be tied to yours until she comes of age. And then at that point, she can now go ahead to get those BVN, NIN, and every other documentation, including the Nigerian passport. By the way,
Okay,
right
we don't.
China, you could actually make inquiries of how to obtain a Nigerian passport for her, because you can apply from the Nigerian embassy in China as well for her passport.
I know, but with the passport she's got, she can't have two nationalities, and the passport she got makes life very, very easy for us in China. So we don't think of we would like to have two, but it's just that it's not allowed. We're not allowed to have to give her two passports. So that's about that. I'll talk to Morgan Capital about that. The next one is I would like to have an account with Atlas. All right. Move all my stock trading account from Morgan's.
So sorry, Jay, it's looking like network is not our friend from your end, I guess. But I was trying to actually bring up Atlas Portfolios to also respond and add a voice regarding your child's situation. Hello, Atlas, are you there? Can you help add your voice to that? So many others will also learn from this. Good afternoon.
All right, Coach. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone in the house. All right, if I'm clear with his explanation, they requested she needs a BVN and NIN compulsorily. So
And
if
then
she's a minor, if she's a minor, the BVN of the guardian or the parent should be linked to the bank account created for the minor. She has to have a bank account, a Nigerian bank account. But the BVN of whoever is monitoring her will be linked to that bank account. And she necessarily does not have to get an NIN. A birth certificate can suffice because she's a minor. So it's not compulsory she has an ID card. But a birth certificate stands for her identification because she's a minor. Then the ID card of the guardian can be provided. But for crossing the shares from his account to her account, she must have a Nigerian bank account number, the BVN of the father or the mother linked to it, and they must provide a birth certificate. Then once the CSS account is ready, they can cross any shares they wish to cross to each other.
thank you very much. Really appreciate your
Okay.
contribution.
Thank you.
Hope that's clear with you, Jay.
Oh, thank you. That's clarified. Her mom is not Nigerian, so that's where it comes a little bit complicated. Okay,
All right.
my second question. Sorry, Coach. My second question is, how do I set up Atlas account, and if it's possible, can I transfer all my stock from Morgan Capital to Atlas later?
Yes, very simple. I could give you the link to open your Atlas Portfolios account, and afterwards you can instruct Morgan
Can you
Capital
hear
to
me?
loud and clear. You can
I
go
should
ahead
just
to
type it.
Okay, so Atlas Portfolios, please do well to type the possibility of him opening an account and transferring his stocks if he can hear. Jay is, if you can't hear,
Okay. So how do I get the link?
send me a DM, I'll forward the link to you.
I can hear you. I can hear you clear.
Send me a DM, I'll forward the link
Okay. Send you DM on Instagram
Instagram.
or TikTok.
Instagram.
Okay, Instagram. I'll send you a DM regarding that. I think I sent you a DM before on
Yes,
that. Yeah, okay. I'll do that right
Thank you
away.
very much, J Ace.
Thank you.
Okay, so I understand a little bit of what's going on there. Perhaps she might be Chinese, and that's where the impediment of having a second passport may be coming from, and some of these hitches here and there. But I love the fact that the father is planning so well for the child, and this is what we are doing here. We are not just a hit and run wealth group. We are actually building generational wealth that will outlive us. And that's why I'm putting in efforts to work out something so we can start also introducing these kind of things to children at their level and understanding so that they don't grow up and mess up the wealth you have created. Early enough, you show them the way at their level through the means they understand and learn. That's what I'm also working on. So, in the end, whatever you are planning and plotting for them and building for them, they come out to be even better managers, having been exposed to these things early enough. We didn't have that luxury of having parents who bought stocks. Even those whose parents bought stocks, they didn't have a chance for them to be shown the stocks. But in the end, this is where we find ourselves. So we want to right the mistakes of our parents. Okay, he has just made the correction there. She was actually born in the UK. Okay, that's fine, noted, but it's okay. So all of those will be sorted. And we really appreciate parents who are doing a lot to secure the future of their children. So don't just do it for yourself alone. This is what we preach here. If you are not following me, you are losing money. You see, if your children are not following whatever we want to start sharing, of course, it will be at their cartoon level and all those things. Then they might also be losing money. But guess what? Because you are following me, your children are already making money because you are now investing on their behalf. I don't know whichever place you can find such a community like this. Go on to the comments, the callers again, and see. Ngozi, you are next. After you, we have Chuchuli. So let's connect with Ngozi. Okay, looks like that connection has failed with Ngozi. We'll go on to Chuchuli. Let's see if we can connect with Chuchuli. While we're trying to connect, your fan club has completed the first stage of the club quest. Club cheers has been unlocked for all fans to send and celebrate. I don't know what TikTok is doing. I don't know about fan club, but if you are a fan, congratulations. They say we have a complete first stage of the club quest. I've told you I'm not a social media person. I'm not here to do social media, whatever. I'm just here for us to exchange ideas and get richer, that's all. Okay, that call has also dropped. Looks like we're having connection issues today. The next caller is Trip G Pro. Trip G Pro, let's see. Is Bamboo app okay to use in buying stocks, sir? Jerry Osim. Bamboo for foreign stocks, good. For Nigerian stocks, if you do, then you'll be paying double commissions. How much do I pay for share global search? It depends on the volume. It depends on the volume of stocks you have determined by the CSCF who does the global search themselves. So whatever they communicate to your broker will let you know. Sometimes it can be 5,000, 9,000, 10,000, depending on the volume of stocks. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
All right, my name is Biobele. I'm streaming for Port Harcourt.
Biobele from Port Harcourt, you are my brother. Very good afternoon to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Apparently, I just want to find out about. I have this project that would require funds, like major funds, right? So I want to know how to get started with my company to be in the stock exchange to sell shares so that we can get started. I don't know if it's too much for here or we can do it privately.
Okay, maybe we can talk about that outside here. You need a few regulatory requirements to meet. So the first thing is to obtain the list of requirements to be a registered broker, and you take it up from there. Most of all of those things is always done in Lagos.
Okay, all right, no problem. Nice talking to you, mate. I used to know you back then when I was a child, so it's nice seeing your face again.
Really? Okay. Then we have to see then. In any case, just send me a DM on Instagram so we can talk that through.
Yeah.
And perhaps I will then remember that is somebody I really know. I just said you are my brother because of the name, because we come from the same. And I never knew you already know me. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Jobele.
yeah.
We'll talk
We
later.
live together at 218. We live together at 218 Bunny Street. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Interesting. Typical 218 town in Port Harcourt. All right. Not a problem. We'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
cheers.
Interesting stuff there. You see, you never know. So if I was lying and tricking people, somebody who knows me so well, growing up, you can imagine, I would have been caught red-handed here. Okay, Donald, you are next. Donald, sir, is it okay to use Afri-Investor to buy shares? Why not? They are stockbrokers.
Good
Is
afternoon,
it?
sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Donald. I'm calling from Abuja.
Donald from Abuja, it's good to have you. Go ahead.
Sir, I would like your professional opinion on the stocks I plan to obtain. I'm 29 years of age, and I have started investing like 2022, although it wasn't that much, but now I have little funds that I plan to invest for the long term. And currently, my account is funded with 1.5 million to invest, and I had few shares on Trove, which I was supposed to sell off and then move to Atlas, but because they started rising and some were at loss, so I couldn't sell off. So right now, my major target is to get on the penny stocks. My major target is to get either Chams or Qtix or Prestige. But for Chams, I once had about 208,000 on Trove. I sold it to move the money to Atlas, but Trove took about a week to release the funds. So when they later released the funds, I was only able to now buy about 108,000. So now I'm thinking of leveraging up on Chams, or I should go on Prestige because it's more cheaper and for more longer term, and then maybe later on I start going for like Dangote Sugar, Cadbury. Although I have Cadbury and even UPDC, I have about 20,000 pieces of UPDC in Trove and all that. But in Chance, I'm trying to build a portfolio now so that I don't just scatter the money around, and I want to do for a very long term.
If you ask me to choose between Prestige and Chams, I'll go for Chams all day. So let's go for Chams.
All right. So at what entry price do you think I should hit
As
Chance?
we speak, Chams was doing 270, then it dropped to 265. I need to log in to be sure what is suitable for now. Remember, today is Friday, then it's almost like bargain trading day. You never know if it drops below 265. Let me just do a quick check, and then I'll be able to relate. Just a moment. Chams, there you go. Okay, Chams is now down to 245. You see, Friday bargain hunt is now reflecting. There's now a lot of offers for Chams. 8.3 million offers versus 4.3 million bids. So more than 4 million offers more than the bids. And that means Chams now drops to 249. Okay, then a little bit more, 249, just one comma below the 250. As we speak, it means that maybe we could still buy at 245, even if it's 249 now.
So I can go in all with the 1.5 currently now.
I think you should stagger it. Chams has a tendency of being oversupplied every time it makes a big move, meaning if you buy some now, and then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, should it dip below what you bought, you have a chance to average down.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Chiejine Ubome, you are next. While we are trying to connect with you, let's see. Coach, what's the best price to buy Presco? Ebuka, best price to buy Presco. Let's see how much Presco is at the moment. Presco is not cheap, you know. So I want to if you want to buy Presco now, 1,240 right away you can buy. Otherwise, if you want to strike a bargain, then you put it at 1,225 or 1,220 just in case. Hello. Okay, we missed out on the last person we're trying to connect with, Chiamaka. Let's see, Chiamaka connects. Coach, which stock can I buy with 1 million for my daughter? Okay. You can go ahead and buy her. Few ticks are available. Just that you may want to close out. Just take your time. Not rush. You want to buy few ticks for her. Hello. Looks like Kiamaka called in error. Proceed. Happens all the time. Never mind. Martin, you're next. What apps or how can I buy Nigerian stocks? Jerry Osim, just register with a stockbroker and you are ready to go. Coach, how do I receive my dividend of Dangote Sugar for almost 3 years? Do you have a stockbroker? If you do, engage your stockbroker plus search for registrars of Dangote Sugar and then download the e-dividend mandate form. Fill it, complete, and send to the registrars by email. Right? Coach, thank you, because I bought Champion at 6.73 Kobo. Stanley Dozie, he bought Champion Breweries. How much? 6.73. And Champion is 13.15 Kobo. We are talking about almost 100% return on investment. Now you understand. Now we can relate using these terms. Because his 6.73 Kobo is almost double today's price of 13.15 Kobo. Right? Interesting. Don't know if it's cement or sugar, my parents bought it. Okay, never mind, search for the registrars, okay? Let's get more calls in. Chuchuli. Excuse me, Chuchuli, you are next.
Good afternoon. How do you do, sir?
And how do you do?
Great. I don't know if you recall, I said last week was my first time I joined.
Okay, you're not sounding very upbeat. Come on now. Thank God it's Friday. Let's go.
Just trying to keep it low a little bit.
Okay, you are the style. All right.
Yeah, just like you followed through. I've been able to get my account and logged in yesterday. I funded about 500K just to test the waters first before I come with a big flow. Let me understand how it works and then maybe I'll come real big.
Okay.
So from today,
did you register?
Atlas.
Okay. That means you
Atlas.
On how to.
Yeah, I watched the. Yes. So I've even I bought Fidelity, I bought First Bank based on your lectures, and I bought Chams. So I bought 3 today.
Okay.
So as time goes on, I'll still be buying more and more. Hopefully, we'll blow one day.
Absolutely. This is a sure banker. As long as we stay the course, remain focused and consistent, forget it. Just a matter of time, right?
Yeah. So that's all for now. I'll be topping up as time goes by. Thank you very much, Coach.
My pleasure all the time. So let's build together.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you. Okay, I see OJ celebrating there. She says, "Oh, yo, our coach is so brilliant. How do you do? How do you do too?" I love the energy. Keep going. Joy all the way, and the portfolio turns green. Makes it even more interesting. Coach, how do I receive my dividend of Dangote Sugar for almost 3 years? I think I've responded to that. Any prospect on First Bank, please? The prospects are absolutely there. I've said several times regarding this, and I repeat, First Bank has been doing some serious housekeeping, cleaning up the mess of mismanagement going on, and a whole lot points to the fact that that job may just be done. To have received the information that their forbearance issues are going to be settled at the end of last month, meaning they are now free to retain some cash to improve on their dividend payout. First Bank is a juggernaut anytime, any day. And that's the reason why, in spite of paying 60 kobo per share annual dividend, they remain as high as 26 naira per share. When a stock like Fidelity paid 1 naira plus as final dividend, having paid 85 kobo as interim dividend. No other bank stock can play that joke and remain at that price. Now imagine when they now start paying the dividends as expected. Then you are talking about 35, 40 naira per share. In any case, the current chairman has invested over 300 billion naira in that stock. Talking about Femi Otedola. And he said in the last annual general meeting that he is not investing, or he has not invested 300 billion naira in First Bank just to receive annual dividend of 60 kobo per share. Therefore, get set for the bumper dividend days ahead. These are not just mere words. I've seen a careful approach to the housekeeping I told you about. I mean, clean up, blocking all loopholes. How? There were some senior management staff and directors that were relieved of their job, about 100 of them last year. That chunk of staff collect a lot of bonuses and emoluments that runs into billion, if I may say. Of course, there were some other things that are being cleaned up as we speak that I cannot really go into much detail. But the long and short is the leakage that long existed in First Bank is coming to a permanent end, so that there will be enough cash in the bottom line for shareholders. So shareholders' funds will keep growing, value will keep being created, earnings per share will also shoot up from where dividend per share will come. I won't be surprised, therefore, if First Bank decides from this year 2025 that they are going to start paying interim and final dividend, joining the league of GT Bank, Zenith, UBA, Access, even Fidelity, to pay dividend twice a year. This is how I make my money. I see from afar, I get into the stock early enough, I sit down, take a good dose of patience pill, and I relax to see the stock later rally upwards. This is how we make the progress we make in this market. Thank you very much. We'll go on to the comment section to continue. Gracias. Let's hear gracias. So
Hello,
many
coach.
calls are coming in now, and we have just 15 minutes. Let's see how we do it quickly. Hello, gracias. Tell
Hello,
us your
coach.
name and
Good
where you're
afternoon,
speaking
sir.
from.
Thanks
Good
for all
afternoon.
you do. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, sir. If you are not following coach, you are losing money, a lot of money. Seriously. I joined last year, and I've seen a lot of impact. So regarding, I have some stocks in my portfolio, but I want to grow more. like more than like 20 million. So I have some academic press, as you said, some Cadbury, Nigerian Flour Mills, and UACN and Unilever. Please, can you advise what I can do for short-term goals also?
First off, you just mentioned the stock that has been delisted, Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC.
No, UACN. You said Unilever and we should buy then Unilever and UACN, which I bought. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you mentioned Flour Mills.
No. I never go into flour mills.
Okay. So, how much did you buy UACN and Unilever?
UACN I bought at 34.
Okay, now it's 40.
Yeah,
Unilever,
Unilever I bought at 45.
now it's 50 or something?
It's 56, yeah.
56. Okay.
Exactly.
When did you buy?
I think that was 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks now. Almost.
Just 2 weeks.
Yes.
I think
That's
your
more than
timing is
20, more than 23% gain.
awesome. Your timing was near perfect. Okay, so your question now is you want to increase your stakes in them or you want to increase the number of shares in your portfolio?
Exactly. I want to increase number of shares in my portfolio and I want to balance it with like 10 or 20 million. What would you advise?
Do you have Aradel? I'm just here seeing Aradel jumping away from our very side.
No, I didn't. Well, I heard you mention to one of the person that just called in for dividend or long term for RD and NIDF. I don't know, maybe it's a good buy.
Now, as long as you understand the principle behind every stock, you are good to go. First, NIDF in the near term will not give you too much capital gains yet until institutional funds run after it. And all institutional fund needs to run after it is for NIDF to stay consistent with their quarterly dividend payouts. So if you are buying NIDF, you are not looking for immediate capital gains. You are going in for the quarterly dividend income.
Okay.
So on that note, you can buy NIDF to keep giving you dividends every quarter that you can use to fund any other stock you are buying. That's another approach.
Okay.
You also proceed to getting, like I said, Aradel. Now, Aradel pays dividend twice, meaning every October and April, you will receive dividend from Aradel. April, May, September, October, you will always receive dividend from Aradel. Now, Aradel has very good room for capital gains.
Okay.
How soon is what we don't know, because there has been a major seller who continues to dump when the stock price tries to gather steam. But gradually, I'm seeing Aradel climbing. It stayed long under 500 naira. It was selling for 400 and something for so long. But it's looking like it has established a solid support above 500. As we speak, I went and saw Aradel is at 529. Yesterday it was 515.
Yeah.
Within this range, if you are buying long term, there's nothing to struggle about pricing. Just go ahead, buy, and should it dip any further lower than you bought, see that as a sign of buying more cheaper. Then you go in and collect more. I think with these two, you should have that should be money well spent.
Okay. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you. Yes, I tried to connect with Okonkwo. I missed out, maybe because of network, and thank goodness she's back. Let's see how we reconnect. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon,
Hi, Coach.
ma'am. It's good to have you
You're not
again.
following Coach. You're losing money.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to be
work
back
today?
here again. Fine, sir.
All right.
Coach, I'm looking at, I'm eyeing Wema Bank. How do you see them?
Oh my God. Why didn't you say this when I kept talking about Wema at 13. It jumped to 15,
Oh,
got back to 13. And
yeah,
before my very eyes, it's almost like, wow, that was justifiable. And that's the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here sharing all these things is because I can't take all the opportunities alone. Because for instance, I keep saying that Wema Bank stayed at 13 for so long. And I said, this stock is not a 13 naira stock no more from what I saw. So this
yeah,
is not the time to buy it. That's 16 it has gone to, and it went there so suddenly. There could be a chance
yeah.
that you buy it cheaper. But if you ask me, should I add Wema Bank to my portfolio? Absolutely. It's just
Okay, okay,
pricing
coach.
now. And now, we are here also to develop the discipline of the rich. They can have money and they can also exercise restraint. Not because the money is in your hand, you should go ahead and spend it in buying the stock. Sometimes you want to bargain hunt and wait to see the best prices. The way it is done is you also look out for some other good stocks and wait to see how low they get. If the one you are waiting for, the Wema, doesn't budge, you go ahead and take advantage of any one that presents itself at a very good price. Much later,
Okay,
Wema can budge, then you go in again with fresh funds.
okay. I'm also eyeing Japan Gold. I don't know if it's a good one.
Be careful with Japol. I've said a lot about the expectations that are not yet met, but it has a lot of prospect. It has always been so for Japol. The same thing with Ella Lakes. We want results. Otherwise,
Yeah,
depending how high it goes, it could collapse. And let it not be when you enter. This is
yes, yeah,
there were times when I told people buy Japan, then 2 naira, under 2 naira. I say buy. Anyhow it drops, it won't be too bad. So if you're buying Japan at 2 naira and under, good.
okay,
So now that it has risen because of the news about the problem I have is all these companies trying to raise capital and do all these things, they haven't enough to support the business at the moment. So you will need to wait a lot of time and go through some agony of stock price stagnation or depreciation.
yeah,
It can
yeah,
be very, very disappointing, especially if you are very optimistic when you were buying it. So let's understand this market the more and learn from every other mistakes. I would rather go into a stock I'm more sure of than jump into something still speculating, because the same Ella Lakes or Japol, when the books finally come out clean and very valuable, anybody else can still buy and still make more money. For
yeah,
instance,
exactly.
Fresco was 200 and something naira a year ago.
Wow.
Then it got to 450. Nobody wanted to buy at 200 and something, 280. Then it got to 450 by November. I started singing it. I said, you are looking at Presco, it looks expensive at 4 something, but there is a lot of value. Here we are, not up to 1 year,
Yeah,
1,200 plus. So that's how
yeah,
we do this. I would rather do this. I'm sure in the morning, because, like I said, today is the qualification date for Presco dividend, 42 naira per share.
wow. God.
I'd rather be in such stocks than dilly-dally with anything that could cause more harm. Okay, so I hope that is clear.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being here.
Thank
You
you.
really increased my portfolio and my bank, and I'm happy
Fantastic.
about that.
I remember when you made your first call, you were a bit skeptical and then you were trying to make up your mind. But I know now that you are more than fired up to take full advantage.
Yes, I followed the advice. When I uploaded the Ella Lake, I now used it for Kutix and Chams, and then I'm not
No regrets. Never mind.
angry about that choice.
Those are more stable and well-proven companies that you can go to bed
Yes,
having invested in.
and relax. Yes,
Fantastic.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
sir. Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
being here.
My pleasure. All right, 5 minutes to go. What can we do? Ngozi, you were called up earlier. I don't know what happened. Let's see if we connect again. Okay, Lanre, Ngozi is not connecting. Lanre, you are next. Let's see what we can do in 5 minutes. We still have about 10 callers. Obviously, we may not be able to meet up, but let's see quickly. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
Tell me your name and where you're streaming from. Let's do it fast.
Okay, this is the first time I will join your live. I've been searching throughout the week on how to make investment. I've been watching a lot of videos. I think that's the reason why the algorithm bring your live up now. So I don't have enough knowledge about investing in stock, and I have enough money to go into investing now. So I don't just want to go randomly to go and pick any stock. So I'm thinking probably you have a videos or coaching section someone can apply for instead of trading randomly and gambling up and down.
That is the most reasonable thing to do. And I've just typed my Instagram handle. Send me a DM. I'll forward everything you need to start with, including my YouTube channel. Someone asked of my Instagram handle. That's it there at Wealth Coach Omiete. Follow me and send me a DM. I'll send you the link to open your brokerage account.
Thank you so much, sir.
To my YouTube channel. Go there, subscribe for free, and you will see some beginner guide videos with great understanding of the market. You will go out there and explode. Then, of course, if you want to join Investors Club, over 2,400 members right now of Nigerians abroad and in Nigeria and some foreigners. You can also request to join the club. I'll send you the link to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have Ngozi. Every time we try to connect your call, it goes off. Let's see if we can reconnect. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Tell us where you're speaking from.
Okay, my name is Ngozi. I'm calling from Lagos.
Thank you very much, Ngozi, from Lagos. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm within the financial space, so I kind of understand the concept that we're talking about here. But I wanted to pick your brain on your recommendation with First Holdco. My understanding of First Holdco, I understand the opportunities that you mentioned in terms of the cleanup. I kind of, will I say, acknowledge that notion. But I have some other concerns, and I wanted to ask if your recommendation is within a 12-month period, because we know that investment horizon are different for every individual. So your recommendation, is it based off of a 24-month target, will I say, or rather if you're looking at it within a 12-month period? Because if you look at the issues that First Holdco have to tackle with in terms of the loan forbearances and the exposure of those loan forbearances on its financials, I don't think there's any much capacity, at least within the next 12 months, for it to pay the kind of improvement in dividends that you're alluding to. If you just take a look at their Q1 25 performance and you kind of annualize that number and you juxtapose that on their loan forbearance exposure, they won't be able to take the full amount of that loan forbearances in the current year. That will mean that they will have to section it. And then with the capital raises that they have to do, you also have to acknowledge that they have high NPLs, and also they also have the problem of their capital adequacy ratio, which is very much within the regulatory threshold. So if you account for those two things, it's looking more of a 24-month expectation rather than a 12-month expectation. So I just want to confirm.
Can I tell you this? You've expertly dissected the whole thing and absolutely correct. The point is, my projection is actually long-term, beyond 12 calendar months. Secondly, I can tell you, with all of what you have done, we have not added the sentiment. Sentimental analysis, that's what I call it. There are market sentiments surrounding some stocks that will easily influence the stock price performance over time. The point we try to make is getting into a stock early enough, not necessarily for short term. That's why if you've been here for a while, you will know that you are not, I have never really taken time to tell people who come to ask for short-term recommendations. I keep telling them, nobody can predict the market for as long as we have known what the market is. For instance, even that 60 kobo, like I said earlier, 60 kobo dividend, annual dividend is not justifiable
for the current price that FBNH is or First Holdco is. But what do we have? The stock just manages to stay upward.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I,
it's a
I
long-term projection, and if you notice, most people I mentioned First Holdco to is either they're investing for long-term or they're investing for their children and so on. And of course, most of us are actually long-term investors.
I agree, but I guess my own point of view is that if you look at it right now, if you look at all of those things that you've mentioned, right, the long-term sentiment is kind of differs to what me I typically look at, which is just basically on the fundamentals. I kind of apply like a premium, and you can also apply that based on their trading multiples if you're looking at it to will I say, factor in the sentiments that support that FBNH. But if you look at it, I'm kind of very weary on FBNH. I'm of the opinion that investors can hold out on First Bank and then reassess. So that's just what I was going to add.
Fantastic. Your opinion cannot be overridden by mine. Actually, some people can be stricter with their fundamentals and the principles with which they determine what they pick. But for me, based on my time in the market, I can tell you sometimes you've got to bend. Otherwise, you miss certain opportunities. In any case, it also protects you from certain mistakes that may happen along the line. This First Bank used to be selling for long at 16, but see where it is today. And even from that 16 to the 26, before then, this same First Bank was selling as high as 30. But this is not me now strictly hinging my recommendations or opinion on fundamentals. It can't be squarely fundamental. So that's where we are a bit different.
Okay, it's fine. Thank you.
Claire. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's session. That was a very brilliant submission by Ngozi. Some people can be more strict with their principles in terms of whether they are following fundamental or technical analysis. Some may want to be a bit flexible. And if you look at it, so many stocks are even doing far less than they should be doing if you consider the fundamentals strictly. And the market just seems to ignore them almost completely forever. Well, that's what we have. Ladies and gentlemen, it's already 2:03, 3 minutes more than we should have stayed here. And it was a really interesting engagement with Ngozi, very brilliant there. Really appreciate your contributions. And this is why I love a place like this where everybody can stick to their strategy. That's why we say, learn. It's a do-it-yourself club. As much as you learn enough and take your decisions, you stand by it. Even the best fundamental analysis can be faulted by the market. And that's why I keep saying the market has a mind of its own. For instance, Ella Lakes cannot be justified for selling as high as it is doing, with almost zero revenue up till 2024 year end, right? There are so many stocks like that. Okay, and so people like Ngozi will never go near a stock like Ella Lakes. And that's it. Everybody stick to your guns and stick to your principles. As long as it works for you, fantastic. Thank you so very much. And hopefully you have a lovely weekend. And come Monday, same time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time, we'll gather here again and look for more opportunities. Until then, this is me saying, thank God it's Friday and have a lovely week.